What's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about weapons. Now, I think everyone's mainly attracted to this movie because of the trailers, because I think the trailers, they do a really good job at setting up the film and getting you interested in it. Because from the trailers, it sets up this really interesting story of, at like 2:17, middle of the night, bunch of kids in one specific classroom, they all just leave their parents' house. Why did this happen? Where did they go? That's a very intriguing question to me. Not to mention you also got a really good cast. You got Julia Garner, Brolin, Alden, Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong. So I was very interested to see where the story would go and just how satisfying would the answers be. Now, I am going to be going into spoilers, which I think is very important to tell you that right now, because if you haven't seen the film, I don't encourage you to look at any spoiler reviews or anything, because I feel like it'll really ruin the movie for you if you already know what's going to happen going into it. Because the movie is set up to where you get so many puzzle pieces that helps you kind of piece together the film. So if I spoil it for you, it's going to kind of ruin a lot of the film. So if you haven't seen it, please just add this to a list so you can come back to it later. But for the rest of you who have already seen it, let's discuss weapons. Now, I'm a big old pussy when it comes to these horror movies, especially when you see them in movie theaters. I can't stand when it gets to these damn jump scares. And I feel like the movie does that a lot of the time, where it's like they will have it dead silent and they'll zoom in on a really dark area. And then out of nowhere, I just get really loud and something's really spooky and scary just jumps at you. I feel like that's just so cheap. It's like, yeah, obviously I'm going to kind of jump, my stomach's in my ass. My adrenaline starts kind of going. That's why I don't like watching horror movies. There were so many times throughout this film I kind of just covered my ears and kind of closed my eyes when I knew some shit was going to pop off. So I'm going to have to rewatch this movie again now that I know kind of what to expect and when to expect it. And it's even worse when you're in a movie theater because it's so loud and the screen's so big. And also, why is every room so damn dark in this movie? If you're like one of the people in this film and your house is just completely pitch black dark, you're just sleeping in complete silence, you are a psychopath. You are a future serial killer, because who the hell lives like that? Get some damn lamps in your house, for the love of God. It's just like every character in this movie, they just live in complete pitch black darkness. But yeah, anyways, how's the movie itself? I really like the film. And what I really want to talk about is the character in the film called Alex. He's a little 8-year-old boy or something around that age. He's very young. When I seen his title card come up, I honestly just kind of locked into the film because I knew what was going to happen. That's where we really get all the answers in the film. Because before this, the movie's kind of like Long Legs meets Pulp Fiction, where they kind of give you a bunch of different characters' perspective throughout the film. At a certain point, I thought it was getting kind of ridiculous. It's like, really? We're going to follow the cop now? Really? We're going to follow the crackhead now? It's like every time the movie started to feel like I was going somewhere, I feel like we're going right back to square one. But now that I've seen the whole film, I guess it kind of all adds up, because they're kind of giving you little puzzle pieces here and there to kind of piece together the movie. But just watching the film for the first time, it kind of felt like, okay, where is this going? It just kind of got jarring when we kept getting little tiny answers here and there, and you're ready to see the character solve the mystery, and then it's like, oh, we're going to go back and take you to this character now. It's like, oh, no, can we just stay with the teacher and Josh Brolin's character so they can finally solve his mystery? Just felt like they kept pulling back. But yeah, Alex was a pretty interesting character. I think the actor did a really good job in the film. But I have some questions about Alex. For one, why is he such a good damn liar? Because they start off the movie talking about how the police interviewed Alex and the teacher, but apparently they're very good liars. I feel like the movie's kind of lying to you as well, because it makes you think that Alex and the teacher, they truly don't know anything about where the kids are. It makes you think, oh, they're just as clueless as the rest of us. They don't know where the kids are. But as we later find out, it turns out Alex knew exactly where the fuck the kids were. Alex knew exactly what happened. And even for a kid who fears for his parents' life, it still gets to a point where it's like, really, dude, the police couldn't crack you at all? Like, aren't police supposed to be trained to be able to kind of interrogate people to make them want to say things maybe they don't want to say, even against their best interests? They couldn't even get a little 8-year-old kid to confess that he knows where all the kids are. And even if he is in fear for his parents' life, he doesn't feel a little bit guilty or bad at all that all his friends are down in the basement at his house, away from their family. And also, if I'm this evil witch lady, who turns out to be the main villain of the whole movie, the whole reason the kids go missing is because this evil witch who can kind of just possess everybody, which is where the Longlegs comparison comes in. It's kind of a typical answer with horror movies, where it's like, oh, these characters are doing things that we can't really explain why it's happening. And then it turns out the answer is just, oh, well, actually, they were secretly possessed. Oh, okay. So the kids were just possessed to leave their house thanks to this witch, because she wanted their energy because she's dying or whatever. Never really got what exactly she was into or where that was going. She kind of just shows up. I'm not even really sure if she actually is a part of Alex's family or what exactly she's doing to these people. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but at the end of the film, they get to the point where they're like, oh, you know, these people, their brains are basically just mashed potatoes now. You know, the kids gotta learn how to speak again, and then Alex's parents, they're in some kind of psyche ward or something. They have to eat soup, and it's like, okay. Well, Josh Brolin's character was taken control of at the end of the film, and he seemed perfectly fine, but I get it. He was only possessed for like 5 minutes, whereas Alex's parents were possessed for a lot longer. But still, I don't really get why them being possessed kind of makes them forget how to talk and, you know, like turns their brain into mush. Also, if I'm this crazy witch lady, why would you even bother sending Alex to school? Like, all the other kids are missing. Why would you bother sending Alex to school? No one's going to question if he's missing. The entire class is already missing anyway. All you're doing is putting more eyeballs on Alex and your home that you don't need. If you had just told Alex, hey, you're not going to school anytime soon, and just played it off like he was missing, that would have been a lot easier for you. Because there was just a whole bunch of red flags all about this family. Like, what a weird coincidence. Alex is the only kid who didn't go missing. What a weird coincidence. His parents just are unable to talk, but yet this random lady who's not even listed as one of his guardians is doing all the talking for them. And as good as this witch lady may have cleaned up the house so that the cops didn't suspect anything, I can't help but feel they would still notice something. Like, really, the dogs didn't smell the kids or anything? They say at one point in the film that they had dogs kind of sniffing around for them. How did the dogs not know that the kids went down into a basement? I don't know, it just seems like too much of a coincidence that nobody seemed to notice anything at all. And where did the kids even go when they went to go hide? It's like when the police came, all of a sudden she like hid them somewhere else. Where the hell did you hide 17 kids where nobody noticed? Does Alex not have any neighbors? Nobody noticed any of this stuff? Also, at one point in the movie, Alex is left alone at school because his parents are being possessed or whatever. Nobody ever picks him up. I gotta tell you, there's no way in fucking hell that a kid can just walk away from a school without his parent or guardian and nobody would have noticed. Literally all the teachers left and everything and nobody noticed this little kid just staying outside of school. Nobody picked him up. They would have taken him into the school and he wouldn't have gone nowhere until a guardian came to pick him up. That's actually listed. They're not going to just let a little 8-year-old kid walk off who they know is not a walker. Like, they have all the walkers in a certain space to dismiss from school. It's like random kids just leave the school and can just go walk home. One last question. How did Julia Garner's character, the teacher, not notice that Alex took all the name tags? Like, when you're a teacher, your classroom looks pretty much the same every day. You would notice if, hey, all these name tags are missing. What the hell's that about? How are you supposed to know where anyone's stuff is? I feel like she would have instantly noticed that. Especially with Alex acting so weird. Like, he just goes to the classroom and he's acting weird. And she even says in the film, you've been acting more quiet than usual. That doesn't ring any bells to you? Maybe something's wrong? Especially after the entire class goes missing besides him? I don't know. I just got a lot of questions about Alex. Some of the things just kind of are too convenient, or it just kind of makes all the other characters look stupid because they don't really seem to notice. But yes, Weapons, it's a very sad, creepy movie. I would definitely recommend watching it. I think the entire cast does a really good job. And I like how they gave us scenes with Julia Garner's character kind of interacting with the students, showing that she can be a good teacher and kind of make her more believable as a teacher. And I really liked Josh Brolin's character in the film as well. I like that we got to see a parent's perspective, and I thought it was pretty smart from what he said, because it makes sense. Nowadays, if a bunch of kids went missing, there's so many cameras everywhere, there's people who would have been able to pinpoint and record when the kids went missing. What I'm more surprised by is that they didn't all kind of try to line up where the kids ran off to. Like, if everyone just basically took their Ring cameras and kind of pinpointed which direction the kids ran off to, they probably could have figured out exactly where they went to. Not to mention if anyone checked Alex's neighbor's Ring camera and seen a bunch of kids running right next to his house, they would have probably found him. Seems like a lot of the parents in the film were kind of just like, oh, well, you know, my kid's gone. But you also can't have a perspective of every single parent in the film, because then the movie would just end up being like 7 hours long, so the fact we got one parent in the film is good enough. I didn't need to see every single parent have a storyline in the film. It's all about Josh Brolin and Julia Garner's characters. So yes, those are my thoughts on Weapons. It's a very sad and creepy movie, but it was really nice seeing that evil witch lady get killed, although it sucks that the kids had to be the one to kill her. It's kind of like, well damn, another traumatic thing the kids gotta live through. The fact that they all went and murdered somebody. They're all like 8, 9 years old, whatever. They've already murdered somebody. Possessed to do it. But that's kind of the sad thing about the film. A lot of people die that didn't deserve it. Kids go through a lot of shit that they didn't deserve. This movie hits even harder when you're a parent, just trying to put yourself in the perspective of the characters in the movie. What you would do if your kids just randomly went missing. You know, how do you live on with that? And also like the really beginning of the film where everyone's just kind of like, oh, the teacher's a witch. She's did something to these kids. Because it makes sense how they would feel that way. How else do you explain why it was only her class that went missing? I too would probably think, yeah, the teacher obviously told these kids something, she did something. Something ain't right. Why was it only her class that went missing? And kind of the town viewing her as some kind of a evil devil. So yeah, Weapons. Definitely recommend you go check it out. Hopefully you already checked it out if you've made it through the entire video. Or else I'd have spoiled the shit out of it for you. So yes, Weapons. What did you guys think about it? Did you really enjoy the film? Is it your favorite movie of the year? Personally, for me, I don't know if I'd say it's better than Sinners yet. I had to give it some time to kind of marinate and really think on it, but I mean, this is a pretty solid movie. It might be better than Sinners. Not quite sure yet, but it was definitely a banger movie. Wasn't disappointed by it. So yeah, that's all I got to say for today. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time.